What business is that exactly? I'm a dead man, I can't know. Is it gold? Drugs? Pirate treasure? What is it that makes you so afraid of the Alliance?
You don't want to go down this road with me, boy.
Are you not afraid of them? Well, I already know you'd sell me out to them for a pat on the head.
The relationship between Malcolm and Simon shows us how bittersweet is this verse that allows two men of honor and courage to find so little to agree on. Simon and Malcolm don't talk with each other much, but I believe that their relationship is the most important one on this show because they push each other's buttons in all the most interesting ways.
Might not want to mistake it for a suggestion.
These men agree on most of the important moral issues. Just like in this scene, they both agree that the Alliance sucks the big one, but they clash when it comes to stuff like command style and moral approach.
Captain.
And they have a big clash of rules and culture, the kind of clash that defines this spacefaring Western.
Yeah, but you don't even like me. Why'd you come back?
You're on my crew. Why are we still talking about this?
In a way, actually, the clash between Simon and Malcolm is the opposite of many relationships between a captain and a crew member. The captain is supposed to enforce the rules in spite of the crew member who is looking to get his voice heard. Malcolm and Simon sometimes clash on this point.
The man's psychotic.
But they clash far more often because Malcolm breaks the rules like they are matchsticks. Remember in the opening scene of the opening episode, when Malcolm commits clear insubordination against even the leaders of his glorious cause.
Here, here's your coat. You're Lieutenant Baker. Congratulations on your promotion. Now get me some air support!
Simon, on the other hand, has a lot of rules in his head that he holds himself to, and this makes him look at Malcolm sideways sometimes.
Nothing happened. No, there was some drinking, but no, we certainly didn't. No, I would never. No, wait, I think maybe you're confused.
Since Simon is learning not to be such a big prick, and Malcolm is relearning the value of rules, especially when he's in charge.
You ain't weak. Don't know how bright you are, top 3%, but...
I think that all of this could be forgotten between them if it were not for the biggest clash of all.
You live by my rule, you keep your sister from doing anything crazy.
Are we working?
And we got stuck.
Captain, we've been hailed by a cruiser. Ordered to stay on course and dock for prisoner transfer.
River. Both Malcolm and Simon see a need to protect this poor young woman, but while Malcolm sees her as a priority, of sorts, Simon sees her as the only priority.
You're crawling with Alliance.
Simon is still a child in that way.
We've got to run.
Can't run, they're pulling us in.
If they find us, they'll send River back to that place. To be tortured, I'd never see her again.
When he grows up, I expect that he and Malcolm will have a few drinks together. But for now, when it comes to protecting his sister, he often can't see the forest through the trees.
Right one. That too. Now go run and fetch your sister.
What? Why, are you going to put her in plain sight too?
Don't get tetchy. Just do as I say.
Is that why you let us stay? So you could use us as bargaining chips?
Knew there was a reason.
They're not taking her and you are not giving her to them.
And this doesn't work well with Malcolm's hopes for a smooth-running operation.
You don't know me, son, so let me explain this to you once.
Simon can forget about other people in his disappointment and rage, and so Malcolm keeps the doctor at arm's length. And actually, Mal's keeping the doctor at arm's length is what makes this relationship so important to the show. Firefly is about more than just people fighting, struggling, and making up. It is also about the many quirky moral conundrums that make life interesting.
This is over. You and me are going to have a personal chat.
Won't that be fun?
Without a certain closeness in their relationship, these two stubborn men feel free to passionately debate the issues instead of trying to smooth it over like friends would. It is often through these men that we get the most challenging discussions.
What do you pay him for?
And we hear articulated the most difficult and subtle choices in ways that we can all understand.
On the ship.
Public relations.
Science fiction TV often features discussions of moral and philosophical issues. They can get pretty dry.
He was dumb enough to get himself grabbed in broad daylight.
Malcolm and Simon give those big issues life in the way that they deal with them, through practical jokes, stubbornness,
There's a client.
or sheer boldness.
Me.
I have to admit that I have a bias toward their relationship because I see these two men as the two heroes of the show. Generally, everyone else on the ship seems to be a supporting character who is written into the script to advise, augment, and emphasize the decisions to be made by these two. Malcolm is, of course, the one who is supposed to be in charge, but Simon makes his own destiny.
You doped him.
And Firefly stories tend to feature this usually reasonable man's struggle with making the right decision.
I just didn't feel comfortable with him in charge. I hope that's all right.
I suppose that this helps define their relationship. Heroes tend to have egos, and heroes with obvious egos tend to get into the right kind of conflict that moves the drama to the right level, especially when those heroes are conflicting with each other.
I'm a buyer.
Best of its kind. We mix it, we brick it raw right here on the premises. You had the right catalyst, you kiln it proper. This stuff's 10 times stronger than steel and half the weight.
Yes. I've heard great...
What happened to Simon? Who is this diabolical master of disguise?
He's learning.
Excuse me, boss. I'm sure the foreman has things need attending. Why don't we wander a bit, take a look at the operation, then you can figure on whether we get an account here.
Yes? Yes. Yes, we'll wander a bit.